I'm Mariah Carina, and this is the Mariah Carina Show, and I'm not wearing a bra, not wearing a bra. Jiggle freedom! Just jiggling around, just jiggling. Now, for those of y'all that know me, hi Mom, you know that I'm lightweight obsessed with this guy who calls himself Tyler Durden from Real Social Dynamics. Real Social Dynamics is all about how to pick up chicks. It's like everything. This guy is trying to train guys how to pick up girls, and he's telling them they have to be grounded. They have to have a purpose. They have to have an ecology of positive belief. You know, you gotta love yourself if other people are gonna love you. And I've been thinking, what's the female equivalent of this? Because even if every commercial, newspaper, magazine out there is trying to teach women how to be seductive to men, I don't think a lot of women in their mind are thinking about it like they're trying to pick up guys. But I think there is an area where women need help with their pickup game. That's right, lady. It's time for us all to get schooled in how to pick up women. I'm talking pick up women as friends, as mentors, as teachers, as playmates, as dance partners. Women, we need to learn how to pick up other women. And women's, if you're like the rest of us, your early social conditioning years involved deep programming about how to hate other women, about how to think that you are in competition with other women, about how to avoid actually developing female friends while spending a lot of time with females under the pretense of being friends. I think it's so bad that a lot of us don't even know what it means to be a friend or how to be a friend. The primary thing that we do not know how to do for each other as women, and that we are not having done to ourselves by anybody, is accurate and unattached reflection. We're in relationships where the people want us to be something for them, as opposed to reflecting back who we are and who they see us to be. With your parents, I want you to be quiet. I want you to be nice. I want you to achieve. I want you to be perfect. I want you to be beautiful. With your early friendships with other women, I want you to be fat. I want you to be a druggy slut. I want you to be the butt of my joke. I want you to be my fun adventure buddy. I want you to be my constant listening ear for my drama. And then we have these relationships with men who, they also want us to be something. I want you to be my listening ear. I want you to be my arm candy. I want you to be a lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets. I want you to be quiet. I want you to be perfect. Whatever it is that we're calling in, the point is that in these classic relationships, who we are as people is not being shown back to us. And certainly these people are not taking the time and observational effort to notice our behavioral patterns and offer what they see as a way for us to come into a higher octave of ourselves and who we are. And then we look for reflection of ourselves in the media, and often the universal protagonist of these coming-of-age stories, of these rites of passage, are men. And I know for me, all of the musicians and artists and writers and movie directors and actors that I grew up admiring and appreciating and relating to were also men. And so I began seeking more true and deep aspects of myself to be found in friendships and relationships with men as opposed to with women. Alright, so onwards, with a platonic woman's guide for picking up other women. I suggest that you start with looking at the way that you currently meet a woman. What's going through your head? Are you saying, is she more attractive than me, smarter than me, funnier than me, more powerful than me? Is she getting all the attention in the room? Are you playing like a little girl? Are you saying, oh, hi, and trying to be all perfect and nice and quiet like your family taught you to? Are you playing power and status, like you are in the in crowd and you are the gatekeeper about whether this other woman can come in the in crowd? Really pay attention to the way that you meet women. And since not very many people in your life have offered you honest and accurate reflection, you have an opportunity to offer that to yourself. Put all of your judgments aside about who you think you should be and take a moment to just watch yourself compassionately. It's not your fault that you hate other women. You were deeply indoctrinated, and now you have the beautiful opportunity to undo all of that conditioning and have real relationships with other women. And when you start looking at this, you can see what game it is that you are playing. Because ladies, we playing games all the time. Okay. So now that you're more aware of the fact that you are playing games, I say think about all the times when you felt that you've been hurt by women. Think about those early relationships with your mom, your aunts, your sisters, your early childhood friends. Think about the sort of events that led to this feeling of being unsafe around women in the first place. I did this. And I went back and I found all of the early experiences that I had with my first group of female friends were so weird. It was almost psychotic. It was almost like a shamanic ritual. Groups of young girls do tend to lend themselves very early on to ritual. We used to have these competitive games where the sort of leader of our group of friends would be the judge, and she would come up with these competitions and we would have to compete, and then we'd have to design our medals, and then she would judge the colors that we designed our medals with. Really sick sort of things that we would do with each other that all taught me that women are judging me all the time and that being myself isn't safe. So when I see myself now putting up all of these defenses, thinking that I have to act some way or another or play some game when I meet women, I understand that there are reasons for those defenses, that there are deep roots that have taught me that I have to protect myself, so that the next step of this becomes healing. Like serious, ho'oponopono, like I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, and just beam forgiveness, understanding, compassionate gratitude, and love towards yourself, your mom, your sisters, those early friendships you had. So once you're aware that you're playing games, and once you're aware of why, and you've brought healing to those reasons why, I wish it was as easy as, don't do it. Don't do that anymore. But I don't think it's that easy. I think it's a long process, and every journey begins with a single step. So, step 3, get in touch with how you actually feel in the moment and act from that place. And if you see yourself slipping into playing games and fronting this way or that way, watch it. Be a witness. Take that minute to get in touch with yourself about how you genuinely feel like acting. Sometimes you may feel like you're big. Sometimes you may feel like you're small. Start showing up authentically. Taking that time to check in with yourself and think what relationship would be the most beneficial or natural for you with this other woman. Maybe it's natural that you're looking at this woman and you're like, oh my God, you're so amazing. I want you to be my mentor. Then come to her with that energy, with that genuine authenticity. Maybe you meet someone and it's like, oh my God, you're so cool. Like, I feel like we should be friends. Come to her like that. And once you feel out what organically wants to happen in the relationship between you, start throwing things out there. Start throwing things out there that she can come to. One of the suggestions that they have for men in the game of pickup is to be interesting. And what woman is sitting at a bar or at the farmer's market and really wants to answer what she does for a living, right? So if in this masculine world, the main question that we ask each other is, what do you do? I feel like the fallback question for women is, how are you? How's your relationship going? How's your life going? And this is the way that we build trust, but often we're reaching out this way to build trust, and if trust isn't built, then the conversation that we're having isn't real. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're reaching out to someone to build trust by saying, how's your relationship going? And the other person doesn't fully trust you yet, then all they're going to do is either use that conversation as an opportunity for catharsis, because, like God, we just love talking about our relationships all the time, and so that's what we're going to do, or they're not going to be fully honest with you because they don't feel safe yet. And a lot of times I think women create this middle band of safety where it's not entirely superficial because we're talking about ourselves and our feelings, but it's not fully deep because we're not and haven't learned how to accurately reflect each other. So someone is telling us about their relationship and we're just like, like, you're so right. You deserve the best, as a way of building trust. But because we're not saying, I see you acting this way, and what is it about you that you're trying to tell me right now by talking about your relationship? Because we haven't learned how to accurately reflect each other, true trust, true witnessing and sharing is never accessed. And instead we just stay in this middle band where it's not entirely superficial because we're talking about our feelings, but it's not actual connection. And this is the pitfall of trying to build trust by creating trust. Because as women, instead of just being like, hi, how are you? How are you feeling? We can start throwing things out, right? Like, oh my God, I'm interested in Ayurveda. What do you think about that? Or, I've really been thinking about how women can be friends with other women recently. What do you think about that? And all of a sudden you have these different ways that you're relating and you're connecting and you're showing parts of yourself and you're experiencing parts of yourself instead of just talking about things that aren't in the present moment. Because really, the way to pick up other women is by sharing in the present moment, by sharing moments of presence together, and by non-judgmental and accurate reflection, by really witnessing and seeing each other. And what creates the potential for these sharings of the actual present moment is openness. It's the same way that being in love is this sort of trick or mechanisms that gets you to lower all of your defenses, all of the plaque that you've built up about fear of being vulnerable and getting hurt and heartbreak and all of that. Being in love gets you to let all of those down. And all of a sudden you can be at the beach, and because you're there holding hands with someone and kissing them, and you're actually in the present moment, as opposed to a lot of the ways that women build trust, which is about talking about past present moments. And when we're attracted to someone, we do the same thing. All of a sudden, they call it Bambi eyes or anime eyes. We open up. Oh my God, what present moments could I share with you? And this may not be in our ingrained patternings, but look at women with these same Bambi eyes. Look at women and wonder what it is that you could share together, and be open and receptive to that. Whatever woman it is that you're reaching out to is going through her own process of feeling safe and comfortable connecting with other women. So be patient, be compassionate, and understand that she might not be nipping at your bait right away. So that's what I got so far. Watch for the games you are playing. Bring healing to the reasons why you're playing those games. Get in touch with how you authentically feel in the moment. Throw out bait for the woman to connect with you in the present moment, and then be open and receptive to being in that present moment. And be unpretentious. That's all I got for now. Stay tuned for more tips in the Platonic Woman's Guide to Picking Up Women. Mariah Karina Show. Peace out, peace out, peace out.